What's going on, Paisanos? V here. Coming at you guys, well, with a bit of a deck profile today. I actually have the Tri-Brigade Zoo list that I have in this channel. You can check it out. And I'm playing it against my opponent in the tournament. Listen, if you guys want to see more of this, go check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/YGO_Paisano. I'm playing a mixture of decks, and right now I'm playing Tri-Brigade Zoo. But we also have a lot of decks lined up. We have Drytrons, Ignisters, obviously the new Tri-Brigade Zoo, and some other decks as well. Of course, eventually we're going to go back to the old faithful, Shaddoll Invoked, or Shaddolls in general. I have a lot of cool ideas for Shaddolls, and it's all going to be happening on Twitch channel, so make sure to follow that in the links down below. So I go first, I believe, on this game. This is the first time I'm watching this game besides playing in it. So right at the game, I'm activating Fractal. Now, the crazy thing about Fractal is Fractal by itself lets you do so much. You go Fractal into Kit, Kit into Nerval, Nerval into Searching. And what you just basically did was, you just got to search with 3 materials. Now, ideally, I would still search Kit, because if I didn't get hit with Lancia, I would normally go Kit, banish 2 materials, go Double Dragon Lords. Double Dragon Lords gets a bounce, sends the Kit effect, once again, resets everything. You go Nerval, and then Nerval lets you add another Tri-Brigade monster. Okay, so in this situation, I'm basically doing that same play. I'm going Fractal send Kit send Nerval. Nerval's going to let me add a Tri-Brigade Kit to my hand. And now here's the weird thing. What do you do here? We just got hit with a Lance. The opponent now has 4 in hand. Always make sure to count those cards. Make sure of that. All right, 3 cards to my graveyard. Opponent has 1. Looking at the playmat, we are getting some information that it could be Shaddolls we're playing against. No big deal, even though they're the best deck in the meta. No big deal. We gotta play a lot more conservatively in this situation. When you get hit with a Lancia, the best thing we can do is play as conservatively as possible, or try to maybe summon a Zoodiac monster. I believe that in this game, I did have a Zoodiac monster in hand. My main concern was had I summoned a Ram, went into a Dryden, I would be in a lot of trouble. So that's why we didn't do anything like that yet. We do have an Ice Dragon Prison set down. Our opponent did activate Magical Meltdown, adding Alster, summoning Alster. We know when he summons Alster, he'll add Invocation and link away to Alster to Artemis, and that will give us a Spellcaster in the grave and a Spellcaster on board. So what we'll be able to do is activate Ice Dragon Prisons when he activates Invocation, and if he has no targets, we basically win this game. Well, we don't win this game, but we take away an Alster from our opponent. So we're going to see that happen right now. Normal summon Alster, add Invocation. The camera on that end's a little bit fraggy, but it's whatever. Now, once again, the minute he activates Invocation, we're just going to slap the Ice Dragon Prison down. Remember, with Magical Meltdown, we can't negate Invocation, but we can play cards around Invocation. As long as we're not negating, we can still play cards. And that's what we're going to do here. Now, I don't think our opponent realizes the fact that he could activate Invocation effect in graveyard that Alistair back in hand. So he's going to pass his turn. And once again, this is something I just realized now. I mean, you know, when you're playing in a tournament. And there's another thing, too, that people forget about. When you're playing in tournament, you play a lot differently than you play casually or when you rewatch these games. But definitely, I would have activated Invocation effect, added the Alster to my hand, put the Invocation back in deck. So we're going to draw for our turn, and our opponent's going to slap another Lancia down on us. Like, it is what it is, you know. But I think we're going to try to make a more of an aggressive play here. We'll figure it out right now. So we're going to flip a Kit right here. And this is the point where you activate Lancia or not. Because the minute I activate Kit effect and Special Course, if you chain Lancia, it does nothing. The course has already been established. But the second Lancia does touch down. And now we're in a weird situation. What do we do here? Do we go in an extra deck? If we go extra deck, his Shaddoll Fusion will be live. Do we have the Ash Blossom? Because if we don't, with Magical Meltdown on board, he's gonna punch our clock in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play Talents, and we're gonna see what's in our opponent's hand. And this is what I decided to do. I go, listen, I'll see what's in their hand. Dr. Joe and Shaddoll Fusion are limited, and we'll figure it out. So our opponent has, yeah. Our opponent has, yeah, that. The weird thing about it is, I'm not sure, could any have used Invocation to bring out Dragoon? Then again, he can still use Invocation Graveyard to recycle his Alster. In all likeliness, it really wouldn't matter in the grand scheme of things, because what we're going to be doing is, we're going to also be going into, yeah, it's It's pretty wild. Now here's the play. What do you do in this situation? Do you go into for a Trident, or you try going into making a Zeus? I think making a Zeus would have been better now in retrospect. Due to the fact that had he topped anything, Zeus would have been able to clear it, which would have been a big deal. Had he topped Shaddoll Fusion, Trident could have done nothing, whereas Zeus would have. Also, we would have been able to send our kit to the graveyard with a proc kit effect. This is all in retrospect, of course. The major thing I wanted to get rid of was the Magical Meltdown. So we did, and that was very important. Getting rid of Magical Meltdown is essential in this matchup against any Shaddoll Invoked variant, because Meltdown allows Shaddoll to do so many things in which our opponent can't respond. I think it's very important. A lot of people, whenever I do play Shadolls, a lot of people get really scared about my Shaddoll cards, but really forget the fact that Meltdown by itself allows my Shaddoll cards to do everything without them doing anything. And that's why I decided to opt to go in and use Trident Effect to pop the Meltdown. Now, I definitely should have went Zeus here. I think Zeus with Kit would have been a big deal. He still has Invocation of Graveyard, and once again, I think our opponent just forgot about it. And then we're going to go no Lancia, and I think we're just going to wipe this game up. After this game, we're going to go looking into the second game. But, yeah, I think definitely going Zeus on my end would have been a lot smarter of a play, just because we have a Kit on board. Sending Kit would have been a lot more essential, in case he did kind of force out the Zeus play by going Shaddoll Fusion. But we have to see what happens here. I mean, we're gonna go ahead and try to go for a game here, and going for a game is relatively easy when you have this kind of board. So what we'll do is we'll go into a Shurag and Kit's gonna let us get another card. Kit's gonna let us get another card by sending Nerval, and we're gonna go into Link into Fergit, which is gonna let us get another summon. So technically speaking, we have 2 summons along with a Trident and a Fergit on board. And this is us wrapping it up right here. I mean, once again, we're going to send stuff to the graveyard. I think we're going to go into Access Code Talker, or if we need to. The thing about playing this deck is you don't necessarily always need to go into Access Code Talker, or you don't always need to go put big buys on board. You can do one or the other. And those are all ways to get lethal and end the game as quickly as possible. And that's what I feel like which this deck does really efficiently. This deck has multiple avenues of putting lethal on board and just absolutely ending the game. Not that shows don't have a way of doing that, but I find this deck is, once this deck has an opportunity to go for lethal, it can quickly go for lethal, whereas Shadolls might take a little bit longer time. It might need a setup. It really depends on the circumstances. That's why Shadolls I want to play you in longer turns. Had this game went on longer turns, we would have lost. Like, no question about it. I need to end this game right now, or else, if I let my opponent get a turn, that's one turn in which we might not see the game. Like, that's how quickly it can turn for us. One card can flip this entire game on its head. And I feel like a lot of players don't respect that with Shadolls, but I definitely know firsthand Shadolls are dangerous. So what we got here is an access code with 3 materials, so it's a 5300 access code. We got 1960 on board. Our opponents are writing on the wall, and they're going to go ahead and scoop it up. Now, once again, I think our opponent did forget about the fact that with Invocation Graveyard and Alistair and Banish, you can reset that and recycle that. That's definitely a play, and I'm not sure if Invocation can bring out Dragoons. Let me know in the comment section down below if Invocation can bring out Dragoons. I really don't know. I don't play Dragoons. I think that card's terrible. I don't like that card. Because another thing too, so people were talking about like, well, you could have made Dragoons, and if that was to be the case, realize I have talents. Like, you make Dragoons, I talent your Dragoons and I kill you with it. Like, that's a real possibility. Not only that, but the minute I activate talents and you don't chain your Lancia, and I have your Dragoons, you'll never use your Lancia now. And then I'm gonna go and end the game as well. So you have to like chain Lancia to Dragoons coming out. But is that really the right way to do it? 50-50. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Could game 1 have been salvaged by him? And obviously, I think I could have played this game 1 a lot more efficiently by going ahead and going into Zeus. Because once again, if your opponent tells top deck Shaddoll Fusion, the only out you really have is that Zeus on board. 100%. Anyway, so I'm going to do a bunch of side decking. By the way, another thing I've been doing a lot lately is sleeving my main and side deck a lot, double sleeving it. The correct Konami way, I just want to throw it out there. You hold one sleeve up ways, you put the other sleeve down ways, and that's how you do it. Creates an airtight seal. Make sure to push that bad boy down, get that air out. The reason why is because my deck's worth a good amount of money. I have some high rarity cards in there, so you want to keep them nice and protected. That's pretty much it as far as that. So, opponent just asked me, he goes, do you like combo better or mid-range? And I don't know if would Tri-Brigade be considered combo. I don't technically consider combo, though it feels weird. Let me know what you think. Is Tri-Brigade Zoo combo, or is it mid-range? Comment down below and let me know what you guys think. I think with more traps, it becomes more mid-range, but with more hand traps, it becomes more combo. And I do think my variant is more of a combo variant, but let me know what you guys think about that. As far as do I like combo mid-range, I personally prefer mid-range. I think everyone ideally likes mid-range. Combos are really fun, but they're like a nice new toy you get. They're only fun in the beginning, and every time you play with them, they get less and less and less and less more fun. Control, you're not really playing Yu-Gi-Oh! As much as you're preventing your opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And mid-range is that perfect in-between, where you're trying to make your opponent play by a rule set, where it could be like wind on board, so they're only play with a certain amount of cards, or what have you. Or maybe with Tri-Brigades on board, where you only play around certain actions. But I think mid-range is more fun because you give a challenge to your opponent, and the deck itself, by the way the deck works, challenges you as a player. And that's why I like mid-range. I think mid-range is more fun for me. I really do enjoy it a lot. Okay, so I don't know where... I think our opponent's going first, I believe. And we'll have to see what they do here. Our hand isn't the best hand we have, but it's not the worst hand by all means. He's going to shotgun Invocation right out the gate, and he's going to go... I believe in the Construct, or try to go into Construct. So here's the thing what our opponent does, which happens a lot. First of all, the Construct's in the main monster zone. You never want to put that main monster zone. That's the first thing you want to do. You really want to put in an extra monster zone. But looking at from our end, we're gonna ask the Construct send, because if he uses that Construct to sound like Control Fusion or Schism, we are in a world of hurt. So that's why I was like debating on, you know, I was trying to think of, I was a little bit forward thinking. Our opponent does have only 2 cards left in hand. I'm gonna activate 5 Tanky. He's gonna slap down another Lancia. This is huge. Now listen, Lancia slapping out against us is definitely detrimental, but with 5 Tanky, we'll just access the zoo part of our engine. And with the zoo part of our engine, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of his window, his Construct, and we're going to take the gamble. He has 1 card in hand, and he's going to top deck another card. That's all he has left to get a Shaddoll Fusion. Can Shaddoll Fusion come out? Of course it can. Will it be detrimental? Absolutely. But those are the odds you got to play against based on circumstances. You know, we're on the Lancer right now. Now, this might be weird to say or sacrilege in the eyes of a Tri-Brigade player, Tri-Brigade Zoo player, but I really wish I had Mega Clops, because in this specific instance, I could have went to Mega Clops and I would have been bigger. Here's how it works. You do the Zoo combo, you go Mega Clops effect, you equip I'll equip my opponent's Construct underneath a Dryden. So now I have a Dryden pop plus a Mega Clops. And for a lot of Zoo players, that's an insanely difficult card to out. Can Zoo players out it? I mean, can Shaddoll players out it? Absolutely. I've shown it time and time again. Good Shaddoll players always play 1 Naga, because 1 Naga makes so you don't lose to 1 card. It's very, very efficient. Especially with Zoo running around even more so, Tri-Brigade Zoo running around even more so, it's always good to pack things against against Earth. Looking at this right now as it stands, though, I'm trying to basically figure out what's the best scenario that's going to let me go into as many negates as possible. I'm going to start slowly working up my Tri-Brigade package. As you guys can see over here, we're just doing the basic play. Going with that Shotgun 9 effect. Bring out a Dryden. I thought I was going to pop a Shotgun 9 with Dryden. I didn't get Starlight Ferret. I didn't get Starlight Ferret. It's just, So we have to get that Construct off board. Okay, that's how we do it. This is a cool play and cool interaction with Zoo in general. Now, I don't play, I don't play, what's it called? The Whiptail. I run 2 Ram, 1 Rat. And in this instance, activating that would definitely help us out getting a Whiptail on board to get rid of like a window. The problem is, I feel like if you're trying to go Whiptail to get rid of a window, you probably already lost that game, because if that's your out, it's a bad one. Looking at this though, activating Zoodiac Barrage, how do you activate this card? We could bring out a Zoo Monster on board, which we don't care about as much. It's not bad, but it's not as crucial. But what's more important is Barrage getting popped by its own effect, and once destroyed, you can equip it to the Zoo Monster, Exceed. So what would happen was, I would pop Barrage, bring out a Ram. Barrage effect will allow me to equip itself to a Dryden, and then we could go ahead and pop that construct. Unfortunately, right now, I think he has the answer. I believe it's an Ash in his hand. So he's going to stop our Zoodiac Barrage. I'm not sure if Barrage gets popped or not. I think we both just agreed that it didn't get popped. But let me know also in the comments down below. Does Barrage get popped as well? I kept reading it. I really didn't know. And I kind of wanted to hurry it with the game. If Barrage did get popped, obviously that would be pretty huge. It would equip the Dryden. But we just kind of moved past it. I mean, to be honest with you, it really doesn't matter as much in the grand scheme of things. But definitely more important for ruling some effect. Okay, so we are gonna activate Farragut. And we are going to summon out a Nerval. Now, I believe here, or we go Shurag and we banish the construct. I mean, that would be one play. We go with Axis Kotalker and pop a construct. That's another play. We still haven't declared our battle phase. So I'm just trying to figure out the lines of play here. I mean, what's the best optimal line of play for this situation? Obviously, with Nerval in hand, even though we were under Lancia, we still wanted to make some. We still wanted to get Nerval on board, but do the full play. Put a lot of buys in graveyard just to set up. Get Nerval in graveyard so we get Nerval's effect. Our opponent now has no cards in hand, so Shaddoll Fusion would be ideal for him to get. But would it still work? Maybe, maybe not. We have to see. We're gonna go with Shurag. Shurag's effect's going to go ahead and let's add. I believe we add a Fractal or a. Okay, yeah. In this situation, you either add a Fractal or a You either add a Fractal or a kit. The reason I decided to add Fractal is because we can always get a kit. We have enough buys in graveyard. We don't need to send extra buys in graveyard. And Fractal being 1900 can be relevant. Another thing about Shurag that a lot of people forget about is whenever you special summon itself or whenever you special summon a beast, queen beast, a beast warrior monster, you can non-target banish. A cool thing about that is, like you'll see us about to do in 2 seconds, we're gonna go ahead and I think we're gonna make one Shurag, but like by bringing out those monsters, Shurag effect will proc. It's only a once per turn effect, but it's still important in case you do find a way. Like let's say I activate Barrage and I pop in, I bring out a monster, I could banish, so that's pretty important. And this is basically going to wrap this game up. Yeah, so we're definitely bringing out the Nerval. Also, another cool thing is just to play around Nibiru. What we'll do is we'll do Nerval. You do any other card, a Ram in this case, and a Tri-Brigade Farragut. So then we'll bring them, and then we'll link into a Shurag, obviously to get rid of the Anaconda. But what we also did was, just in case, just some mental memory, is to put four summons and not 5, so we don't get nibbed on our opponent's turn. Which, I mean, even though they have no cards in hand, there's always a possibility of happening. Like, there's always a chance you can get nibbed. So we kind of played around nib. We got a bunch of value. We're gonna get the Nerval search. We're gonna get the Farragut search, and of course we're gonna get the banish. We got 6,000 on board, and obviously we got a lot of buys back in grave again still. And next time we're just gonna summon anything and just pop off. With Nerval, I probably would have got a Karis to my hand, which I did. You see over here, me adding the Karis. So now we have, as far as our opponent knows, out of 4 cards in hand, one's being Fractal, one's being Karis. That's definitely more than enough to pop game on board. Verde does get banished, as you're going to see in a second. And I'm pretty sure that's going to wrap it up. We're also going to cycle card. Oh, no, we don't have, we have 3 in hand, because we cycle card with the Farragut. Okay. So we're getting rid of that, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I could have just summoned a Tanky now I realized it. So we have 2 Shurags on board and that's Tanky I searched out. I would have been able to summon him. And because I had 5 formation Tanky on board, the Fractal would have been 2K, would have been game. I kind of forgot about that. But yeah, so that's game, and that's basically how this, you know, a summation of this variation of the deck works. Let me know what you guys think about that. Do you want to see more videos with Tri-Brigade Zoo? Do you want to see some of the new Tri-Brigade videos? Are you looking to see some Drytron videos like Nister? Or you want to see some more Shaddolls? Because I'm thinking about doing trap shows, and let me know what you guys think about that. Anyway, guys, it's your boy V. You Paisanos. You Paisanos have a great day.